Yeah, we're streaming. Bloody hell, man. Yeah, we're fucking streaming. Yeah, we seem to be streaming. Pop out chat though. Yeah, well, this is that. Clean up this. Um, Wait, what's the YouTube channel stuff? Nah, not that. Where is my channel? My channel. Yeah. What is this? You. Oh, that's I don't want to channel that now. Just copy link location. Okay. Post it there. CP live. Whatever. Ethereum, I should probably get in that. But before that, let's working on our project. Maybe change the files a bit here and there. I do have a single pull request which I will be working on later. So, what's my current state for the project? I mean, as of now. Well, I don't think I've uploaded anything. It's not in my folder. Yeah, I haven't. Because this is a fresh install, so I don't expect anything to be here anyways. Open it up. No. Because we need Atom. That's an administrative level in order to access the required files. Or I could just SSH into my computer and write the code, which is still cool, which I will do probably, because I need to check if I have. Oh, cool. So I should upload the code back up here. So set up core monitoring system here. B. Open up. I mean, I do have XAMPP. I mean, I don't know why, but yeah, I do have XAMPP here. but it has a lot of unnecessary content as well. So Control A, delete. Goodbye content. So here's a goal with this. Here would be to download the code and store it in here, in the main directory. Damn PowerShell sucks. Okay. So while we're doing that, we'll just clone this repo as a tree. Oh. Cloning repo. Similarly here as well. For some reason I feel I should have started Ubuntu on my laptop. I was playing League, that's why I just shifted to Windows for a moment. I mean, not that's the problem. Yeah, PS doesn't work. Interesting. Or it's just my mouse. Yeah. I just want to clone this repository. Yeah, cloning. It's gonna take ages on that though. Okay. Let's just atom. Here I already had that. Awesome. We'll just open up a folder. Oh, good. Okay, now let's sync. Let's see where we come so far. Okay, with the API. With the API, I just put this. Give me a second. Okay, it's basically a dummy function. It's not giving too much. What else have I given here? Wait a second. Aren't comments like this and that? Yeah. So what I usually do is I write a script. Let's see if I have iNotify installed. Oh. So basically what iNotify tools does is it checks for any sort of modification or any alteration of files and performs specific tasks. So what you could do is you could put in a while loop of some sorts and make it monitor the files and folders constantly. So what I use it here would be for updating the GitHub. As soon as I make any sort of modification, the modification might be really small or it might be really huge. Yeah, whatever it may be. I seriously think I should have installed PHP on this one though. Guys, I have to keep updating the thing before it's there. What was I going to do while I modify? Delete. Oh, I don't think we put commas in delete, modify, create, delete, modify, disk kind directory, do. What we're going to do is, oh, before that I have to set up the Git repository stuff. So I remember, I think I did git config, you have to do git config. I don't remember what it's called though. I think it's a git something. Oh cool, so I just uploaded a video. Yeah. Store. Now we can do the right code. I notify. Delete, modify. Modify, do, comment on, yeah, I have to put git commit, but before that you also need to add git add once this is established. So if you make a small edit, like let's say just put a space here, okay, and I save it, as you can see it gets, give it a second, let's just push it. Yeah, see, seems fine. We'll just let this one in the background, and by that time I'll just go and set up our our exam server. So exam panel administrator. Damn, it looks like nobody is even watching, but it doesn't matter, we're going to score. Okay, while it's starting, I will go here and get some, yeah, I'll go here and get, let's say, to list. I don't remember what it was though. This one. I'll just log in using my Facebook stuff. Now this is done. And so this size like to a square or some sorts. Yeah. Awesome. Now you can add this to the chat. Because I don't think anybody's going to be chatting at this point. Not that I care, but yeah. So basically what we need to add currently is means for compiling the questions. For compiling the questions. So here's my ideology. We take the questions, the description for the question, the test cases and like the test case descriptions and stuff, and store it in the form of an XML file which is accessible. So what you can do is you can have a folder called questions or something and store all the questions within that. And make a parser file instead of having your files being stored within the database. Database would be nice, but having a local distribution of data will also be really good. So currently I might need to fix few bugs with this though. Yeah, I don't. Okay, it's not. This. Okay, let's like. I don't think this one has the. What is it? I don't think this one has the logout thing. Let me just check it out. Logout eligible someone location. Okay, whatever. Let me just run it on this, and you will find out if it works. Which I hope it does. Localhost, college project. Yeah, before I even set up the PHP thing, I have to go over the PHP script which I wrote here. Set up a PHP. Yeah, it does go and set up a PHP, so that's not fine. That's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, we're set up now, and we can just go and you can just go and write the code now. Just test it. Yeah, we seem to be working fine. Alrighty. So everything seems to be working fine. Logout as well. Alright. Now to have it, we need to provide a means for administrator to upload the questions. So here's my ideology. Where do we have I don't have anything to draw here as well. No, we don't have anything to draw. So if you go to dashboard here, this is just some test scripts I wrote, which we will be taking out. Which we have to replace these with the new API code. So yeah, computation. We'll stop this. Good question. I just noticed something. We end up passing the configuration file every time we use this. What if I just make it into a, you know, a class variable? So something like let me just update it here. It's on in a morning chat. Yeah. I mean, essentially I could just have it set nothing. Like, file, then you can just set up a function. Is it external or double? I think it's double though. I am not sure. That's supposed to be. Not supposed to be doing that. Okay, construct. Construct will take a single parameter. It's basically a file name. Answer. Basically that does that. Now that we have that, we don't have to do this anymore. We just replace okay. Just replace that with this. Yeah, as I was saying, this is what happens when you like review your code after a week. That is why I don't write my code sometimes. I mean, I just want to give some time to just flush out entirely so I can see bugs like these. Because when you're in a rush or trying to build some code really quickly, you don't see these bugs. I mean, these are not essentially bugs. They're like really bad. It's like sloppy code though. It's not bad. It's not like a bug level. It's problem. It's like sloppy code, and I don't like writing sloppy code. So giving some time would be one option. Otherwise, you could have pair programming, peer programming, where your peer is a person who's around at least at around your level. Because you have somebody who's not at your level, they might not be able to understand what you're written in the code. So they might end up panicking a lot. So peer programming is one of the best approach you can have if you want to spot bugs like these while you're writing the code itself. Or you can have regular code reviews, but assuming that you're the only person who's working on the project, then in such cases giving time like 2-3 weeks or giving it one day or something where you don't work or think about the project entirely would be a really good approach. So I'll just show you this as well. See, now just click on save. Boom, it's going to upload the code. Oh my god, push it. Which it does. Wait. Everything is up to date. How come? I'm gonna check the GitHub page. Yeah, seems that I haven't written the code properly. Please tell me who you are. Oh, I'm probably going to change it a bit. I don't think I set GitHub on this though, that's why. Oh, I forgot. It's config global. Oh damn, that is wrong with me. So another thing you can, that's one thing you can do, like take off your code and stuff. Other thing you can do is, I mean, the best step you can take to have a really good project is to have team members you believe who are experienced a bit or are really interested in learning how things work. I mean, you take the initiative to learn about it themselves. Like, you don't have to go and push them like, hey, I need to learn, I want you to learn about K-nearest neighbors. I mean, they have to be like, yeah, cool, what's K-nearest neighbors? You can just tell them why you use it, and they like get super excited about what they're doing and they learn it. Try to get those type of people. That's the best teammates you can ever have. Because if you get stuck with people who don't are like, I mean, yeah, but do we get grades for this? Or are we taught this? I mean, if they're like that, I mean, it's like no point in working with them. You'll just get, I mean, you'll just like drop it off. You'll get demotivated yourself, unless you have. But other thing you can do is you have to push them a bit. That takes a lot of time and effort. I don't think a lot of people have that though. I think, what did it say? I guess that's it. Clean it up, folks. Let me just do it manually. Okay, add everything. Okay, comment, message. Yeah, awesome. It went to finally. Okay, push. Okay, warning, push is default sunset. Its implicit value has changed and it's get to a point of matching to simple. Yeah, it should have. So I'll just change this up a bit. Get config. To push or default match. Okay. Now I can put up the identify script. And it should work like a charm now. Booyah. Okay, now that you have that set up, where were we? Yeah, we were like setting up the files and stuff. This should save us time now. This is a dashboard script. In competitions, you set up the file now. opts.cfg. Here's another weird thing though. Whenever you modify subfolders, identify doesn't actually identify any changes in those. So you have to put in multiple identifiers for subfolders. Well, there's no official documentation explaining how to use that though. So basically, how you might end up writing a bash script. That's it. That's like the default scenario at this point. So I don't have to do file.contents anymore. So what I usually do is I just drop in a comment here. I mean, who wants to put multiple? I mean, like multiple bash scripts running in the background. I don't want that. So I just write some. Just save that, and that should trigger iNotify again. Yeah, simple. So that's what I do. You go to dashboard, back into index, VR Pro. I'll just comment these out because I don't want to modify them. Damn, let's see. Wait. I don't think PHP has multi-line comments though. Not sure. Actually. Seriously don't think they have multi-line comments. They seem to. It's like similar to C. Weird. Like we're taking it from Perl though. Perl has a better representation. CFG, Perl split. We don't want all of this stuff. We just want this. Just put it there. And here is where the magic happens. In dot. Drop it in here. API on the side. Yeah. Because I mean, who remembers their code? Like, I just literally go to the point where the file is there. Let's start time. I don't know why I made it like so. Okay, let's do it. Start. Yeah, I forgot. You do it to the object. You guys watch Twitch streams? Like Twitch? I haven't. Pass it on. Yeah, as I was saying, you can further optimize your code if you give it some time. Others get a partner or a peer to work with, because it's going to be a lot of. I mean, as you go with time, you'll find it. You could represent something with some other expression. Let's say that you implemented like multiple functions, but then you notice that a class will make the whole thing simple. You'll end up doing that then. So the most important part in developing any piece of software is to keep in mind the fact that you need to constantly take breaks. I mean, maybe not like really huge breaks. I mean, give it a day or so if you're doing it alone. It's like how it works in music. While you're working on it, everything seems really good. Sounds really good. It sounds like a banger, right? Then 2 days later, I listen to the same song. It sounds like rubbish, literally. So same works with anything that you do. It may be software, it may be like hardware or something. Because this happens because you look at the same thing for a large amount of time. It's like you're getting obsessed about it. So when somebody's obsessed about something, they don't see the small flaws, which happens when you're developing this piece of software. So yeah, I guess it's updated. Modify, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been a while since I've streamed. It doesn't mean I don't have to do this though. What's up with the chat there? Yeah, I am going to be streaming for a while though. So looking at the code, so far it seems well. Let me just test it on the main machine. Here's the thing though, it's like you need to always have this set up, otherwise it's going to be a huge headache when you're running the whole thing. I mean, where's the terminal? We'll just do a CD into college. Yep. Get pull. I mean, I just kept it as a public repository because I like open source. Yeah, and open source is cool. And at the end of the day, I don't mind if somebody takes our code because it's just my diploma project, and it's like this is something I could have done in like few hours. And APIs 973. Oh, we already found a bug. This and file. Wow. How come? Undefined variable. Is it because I use var like that? I don't think so, because PHP supports var. At least representing var as such. Maybe not. I'll just check out the documentation. Yeah, it seems fine so far. Actually, it does seem fine. Maybe it's this. Open the file. I had to pull in the code. Actually, GitHub, like, this is all work. And back in the day, I mean, my few first year semester stuff, I remember like literally writing code, putting it in a pen drive, getting back to home, then finding out I've made a small mistake and updating a thing, copy that back, bring it back to college. I mean, that was like really hectic. GitHub like reduces the whole process entirely. I think I have to change everything to file because it's referring to a file variable and not that variable. Something which I find interesting is when you get a problem, let's say it might be an algorithmic problem of some sorts or anything like that. You're able to develop the algorithm about how to use it, or let's say you'll be able to like develop how you're going to do that in a specific language, but you won't remember the function calls or the specific files or something which you have to import. But you'll remember what to do. For example, if you're trying to let's say find a minimum value in an array, you know you can find a minimum value using some function called as min, or using some function which is inbuilt, but you don't know which function it is. I mean the name of the function. You know it is a function, but you don't know what the actual name of the function is. Does that happen to you? Let me just see if it pushed. mean, yeah. Okay, let's see if the code updated properly. Yep, it seems to be working fine. Yeah, never expected that to work anyways. But yeah, it did. Now let's just review other part of the code and just check it out, because I think I can re-optimize other parts of the code as well. Damn. I really want to go and check who's actually watching. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna be watching at this point though. It's like middle of night. I really need my natural friends that's gonna be watching this. Here. I should probably go and check out my stream. Yay, I have a video from Siraj, but yeah. How many are watching though? Yeah, nobody, not many people are watching. Okay. Now one watching was basically me itself. So let's get back to the code. At this point, when looking at it, is kind of it seems fine until the point where you see this recurring, you know, which is resizes, and we will drop this back here. Okay, when you read this code, you can find this thing here. You see user pass, user. I think we can optimize this a bit, because we can, as you can see, there's a lot of users here. We're passing user multiple times. Password maybe, yeah. Connection. I mean, accounts, like for verify data, yeah, that might be a better choice to have your user being passed rather than having it stored as a as a class variable or instance variable. Get total user. Okay, that is to get the total marks. Yeah, totally. Select total for marks where user is equal to this and this. Interesting. Okay, that's fine for what we're doing. And get time. I think I can. It's also total time. You have to give it for the user. I mean, I don't think I can optimize these anymore. They're pretty standard. I think I've written a very generic function here, because it doesn't assume anything except for the database and the, what do you call these, okay, what properties which describe the entities. Yeah, let's say the entity and the properties of the entity. Except for those, I don't think anything else is there. So far so good. Seems fine. I mean, it's still not up to my standards though. I can still do much better than this in terms of code. We have a self-calling function here. We need to remove this. What is that? Yeah. What does function get? Start time. Wait, why do we have start time twice? Where? What? Oh. it's called get TTS. Yeah, yes, I remember calling it get TTS. Absolutely, that's not the problem. This is the problem, though. I mean, to me, it looks fine so far. Until I pressed the middle button where I got screwed again. Guys, never pressed the middle button. It sucks. Sometimes I look at this code and think to myself, why did I write it that way? Where I could optimize it a bit more. For example, you have this logout code which I wrote. It's hidden. Awesome. I mean, it's like a hack. Nobody's going to notice what is happening. It may not be the best thing to do, and it may not be the worst thing to do either. But it gets the job done for now. But I can seriously optimize it a bit more. So I'll look into this a bit later. That's not the main concern as of now. The main concern for now is post duration, total duration. Okay. So here's the thing. I asked my teammates to write some code, which takes a file, uploads it. Like it's basically an XML file. Because I was still figuring out how we are going to store the files. I mean the questions and answers. Because considering they're only coding questions, too. So, well, for inspiration, I tried looking up at how code files work, but they didn't have much documentation on this stuff. And their code is not open source, so I just looked at the behavior. I mean, using a network thing, you can look at the packets and stuff. I mean, you can look at the HTTP response and stuff, right? So I was looking at the code. It was kind of intriguing. I mean, my code. It seems really weird. So here's the process I was thinking about. My initial idea was to take the questions and answers, certain questions that is recording questions, stored in the form of, let's say, XML. But how would you store these XML files? Well, yeah, I could have a large XML file which stores your question. Yeah, maybe. But how am I going to format it? I mean, I need to find a way to format it. Well, let's look up markup. I mean, GitHub has some interesting markup. If we could actually use that, we could, format the text within the thing itself. Because here, we also need to handle formatting the question as well. Oh crap. Okay, as well as setting up the whole thing. Okay, so as you can see, majority of people on Facebook are pretty much sleeping at this point, but I don't care. So, I mean, I'm just going to check it out. Like, we have a JavaScript. Just put JS. Markup is called. Markdown, yes. I just want to check this out. This seems interesting. Okay. This seems interesting. I would like to play with this a bit. I mean, there's a marker, a bit more documentation. How into I mean, looking at it, everything seems fine, but we need a bit more documentation of the markup though. I mean, the way using it is really easy. It's actually easy to implement as well. But where's the markup? What do you use? I mean, what's the markup you use? Markdown you use? Is like similar to similar to GitHub's markup. What? Markdown. I'll probably start this and watch it. Watch it. Okay. Oh, I'm sleeping. We'll go to releases. We'll just download a simple text sample one, and we'll test it out. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen with testing this one? I'm just gonna open it. We'll just extract this and save it in competition. I mean, currently the code looks like this. We'll have things like assets and things like that a bit more, but later though. No, not now. Maybe not now, but later. Wow, I'm sleeping really bad. So far so good. We'll just set up the markup and have a test script. I am going to go play some jam. I don't want to play that. There's not much music you can play. Chill hip hop music. Actually, chill music is pretty weird. I mean, chill music is actually pretty weird by itself. I mean, what does it mean to be chill? Like, what is chill? Is it um like is it like stable and cool? I mean, not taking, it's not being not taking the pressure too seriously. Is it like that, or is it more of like a very douchey thing? Crap. I mean, considering that's the case, um, crap, whatever, dude. Yeah, I might end up changing that code as well. So initially we want them to store a file, but let's just set up a test script. We'll just store this like this. I mean, um, let's get ourselves a new file. Let's just call it test. Let's not complicate stuff. Yeah. I have the test script for the markdown. Well, we'll just do what he says us to do. Just basically get a JavaScript and add it to the file. I don't want to do this at this point here. I just like drop it up to the friend. I mean, src is equal to, from what I know, this usually actually like sets up the whole thing for you. Usually does. I mean, when like typing it out, it automatically, if it's a file name, it automatically completes it for you. I don't think it did it this time, so not a problem. I guess that's because I reinstalled the thing. I must have not installed plugins. Okay, what else you want us to do? Okay. Let's just play with this a bit. I think it's pushed. We pull in the code. That's really good music though. Or did I just type here, dude? That's so stupid. While that's being done, let's head over here to test.html. Give it a look. Oh, cool! It's like yeah, exactly on point, dude. On point. So, I mean, that's done, which is pretty cool at this point. How are we going to store all of this data in there? Or we could just store it in a database. I'm not sure about that though. I mean, large. Storing large amounts of data in MySQL may be not the best thing to do. I mean, let's assume that you have like 30 users. Maybe, yeah, assuming that you have a pretty okay-ish server grade systems. I mean, even like an i3 system running it should be able to serve up documents pretty fast. I mean, when you hit that low point of 1,000, 10,000 people like, running out your application, yeah, it might start lag out, dude. It's like literally what I'm thinking at this point. Yeah, considering that, what's my data cap at this point? I think I have some legroom though. It seems I do have some legroom. Okay. So it's like use long text. My mate's here, so we'll just head him up. I mean, you got to get the people in looking into your stream, eh? Check it out. Cool. We just push some people into the stream now. So it says that you need to use long text. Long text by itself may not be the best thing. I mean, it's like, yeah. Or you could just increase varchar, which I don't think would be a good thing. I mean, we can put a character limit on it. We could put essentially you could put a character limit on it, which should, I mean, looking at it perspective, what's our demographic for the product anyways? Right? I mean, who would want to buy our product? Technically speaking, if you're hitting things like universities and stuff, maybe hit around like 30,000 people at the same time. In such cases, going for long text or putting like a character limit will be the best thing to do. But when it comes to like large scale things like code files and stuff, in such cases, it's not going to be chill, dude. Seriously. So let's say you have things like CodeChef or something, storing your data. You would need one of either two things. You would need to either have a really powerful server which can push out all the data really quickly, or you need to have a database. I mean, you need to have the character limit on your data, which CodeChef doesn't have. That means they have really good servers, which is pretty weird because they're non-profit as well. I guess they take a cut. I think they take a cut while they're like recruiting people to their platform. They might be taking a cut. I mean, let's just try out the system and check it out now. Local localhost slash php my admin. So basically we're going to go in php my admin and just try out what they said us to do, which was basically have long text as your format for storing a large amount of strings. Okay. It seems I'm just going to try it out a bit. OSDB, okay. Let me see if I can do it from here itself. 192.16. Exactly on point, mate. Excellent. Access. No, that's fine. We won't be using it anyways in open file. So considering that that's the case, wait, where is the database you said for storing the marks and stuff? I just put it on set up a method to store the DB. I mean, you need to store the data, hey. Give me a second, somebody check. Yeah, mate, I'm not going to be sleeping today. Yeah, probably not going to be sleeping. Well, that's how okay. So I'm going to store Q&A data. So now we have a Q&A data. We have to set up a markdown. We have to set up a Q&A data in database. I mean, that's it at this point, I guess. Grading, marks and stuff, maybe we can do it later. Let's get the code ready so we can start up the upload and stuff. So we need to set up a markup. Markup is set up using we're set up in text already and seems to be working fine. We'll replicate the same in index.php for the admin. Once we've done that, we're going to we set up the now we just set up the mark. Now we need to upload the thing to the mark. Okay, so we're creating a database. So the database, I already have some text data telling. I mean, we already have the names and stuff set up. I don't think so. Okay, we'll just add up another set. Not here. And set up a PHP. D. Not here. After you're done with this. Yeah, I forgot to do another thing. I have to make the tables there unique. Otherwise it won't work. I don't think you can do it here. Like structure somewhere here. I mean, it's probably not there. Default distinct values. Okay, it's just going to show you distinct values. It's not going to allow you to set up distinct values on PHP. So wait, there might be a way to add it though. Set values, make it unique. Yeah, no, it's unique now. Nobody can have the same data, same name. It won't allow it. So it is for. Okay, so he said. Wait, why I'm doing. Why are you doing it like this, Rahul? Yeah, because I like to. db.sql. We'll call it QDB because it's a question database. I know this is under 18-bit. We'll optimize it later on because we'll optimize a bit later on, so that's not a problem. We have a connection open already. We might have to reopen it with a new database connection because that's hip. Yeah, my friend is like, he likes your video. I'm like, yeah, totally cool, thanks mate. Probably one pushing it up. I have the connection set up. Wait, what is that? Yeah, we need to set up the connection. Yes. Yeah, most of my friends will be like, hey there, Rahul, what are you doing with this? This code looks pretty horrible at this point. I'm like, yeah, I understand. This is just like going to be a test script. The setup script when you're going in a real application, it's going to be running in the main code is going to be totally different at this point. Because I just want to hack this up so it can work there. Okay. Now it has it set. We have the connection done. We need to set up the query is already there. We just need to set up the response is equal to MySQL. Here's a weird thing. Actually, ever since the what is it? MySQL stands for is, I think it's IS for interpreted, or it's improved. Yeah, it's improved probably. MySQL. Or it's also called extension library, yes, but it's called MySQL's improved. Improved, exactly. Yeah, it's improved. So here's a weird thing about MySQL. Thing is that with MySQL, whenever you send any type of request of some sort, you have to keep sending up the the connection variable as well. You need to always keep the connection variable intact and when you send your data. You can see it here as well. So if you're sending anything, if you don't specify the connection variable, it will not send a query, which is pretty. When compared to MySQL, it's like a few more lines of code. It's like a few more characters in a single line of code. But yeah, it's not another hurdle. Not much of a hurdle. So now I have this, response is done. It's chill. Yeah, okay, we have it. It seems fine so far. Yeah, it seems fine. Oh, we just need to set up new file. So here's the problem. Okay. We also need to create a function which creates a DB. Wait, how did I create a DB last time? Yeah, create a database. Wait, it's already a database, dude. Oh, okay. Okay, this is what happens when you use SQL. So you just create a table instead, dude. Dude. So it's like that. Here's the thing. When you jump from SQL to MySQL, SQL you just tend to use you just tend to use tables for everything. And suddenly jump into MySQL, you have databases and tables. Tables within databases. So you have multiple databases now. So you could have multiple databases, or you could have one single database and tables within that. This is much more easier to handle. You can just set up a database like application database. I mean, cool. Yeah, you can just do that. It's the best thing at this point. What am I listening to? I'm listening to some chill music, dude. I'll drop the link to the stream there as well. It seems pretty good. Close up my Facebook. We'll just we'll drop up a screen capture for now. But yeah, I'm just gonna go set up my Facebook a bit, cause I just need to test out some stuff on me. Oh, yeah. We'll see. I'll just drop the link to the music in the chat. Okay. Something which I realized to the stream is that my CPU is not built for streaming. I mean, my CPU is not. But my GPU has better support. So putting an Elgato card would be of much use here in my situation, at least. So yeah, I'm gonna drop it in chat. Oh my god, yep. Link is in the chat if you want to watch it and stuff. So really cool. As I said, links stuff is in the chat. Yep. Chat is kind of buggy still. Create a table question. I mean, I don't think it matters, but yeah, let's do it. So we'd have a few things here. We need to have like a hash function, which is like hash for the function question, which gives us like the question name. Interesting thing I found out. What if you could just hash the thing? Like, create a simple hash for your question. I mean, take your you can have like a text. Let me just show you what I'm thinking. Here's my thought process at this point. Right. We'll call it hash, and we'll call it a varchar of 250. Alright, we'll have a varchar of 50 characters, which is going to be a hash for our whole thing. So we don't have to search by the ID, you don't have to search anything, you just have hashes. So if you do //hash, it just runs up the whole thing and gets you the question directly, which just seems to be a better option at this point. Well, as I said last time, let's not finalize things now. I'll just give it a day or so and you can finalize it then. Is that my mom in the background? No, my mom's not there. Okay, so we need to have a few things. We need to have our, what do we need? So we need to have firstly our title. We need to have our question content. How many test cases? I mean, I'm thinking of hitting up like 5 test cases. That seems to be a pretty good limit. 3 normal, 2 hidden. Yeah, chill. Yeah. So in test cases, there are multiple data structures. Yeah. Okay, cool. So when you're considering about that, so we have test cases. Test cases can be sort of an array, but MySQL doesn't support arrays at this point in time. So what are you going to do? Pretty simple. It's not that simple actually, though. When you think about it, I mean, you can store a question array title as a form of as a form of varchar. You can store the question content as a form of that. Test cases, you can have like a hash, match it up with the hash for a test case, and you can have 2 tables literally. So you can have a test case table and table entirely. But I was just going to go about how you're going to go to caching. I mean, I'm not looking at passive hashing. Okay. So we could have a hash you could generate for that. But I mean, that's interesting, but how are we going to have test cases matched up with it? Another thing, have we noticed this thing? Check package update. have to update that. Yeah, I'll update that. So considering that, we need to find a way to hash the test cases. Test cases are multiple for each. Are like multiple. We have 5 for each. So we have. Interesting. We could have multiple hashes. So we can have hashes. Here's my thought process. So we need question directly, we have question cases, we need test cases. Test cases are to be stored in multiple data types, right? So we can have a test case. We can have another table called test cases, which will hold our test cases literally. Alright. So we can have something like, yeah, that will basically hold our hash for a test, for the question, the ID. I mean, what else does case have? Function name, need to have the params. Yeah, that's another headache as well. We could store as a long string as an array. That will also work. Then we could have is we have function name, we have the params, we have the IDs and stuff. We have, I mean, we need to have the function name, we have the parameters, we have the IO, which is, can also be a something like that, and the output. Output necessarily, I believe, should also be an array. Should be also be an array. Maybe not. Maybe yeah. So we'll just keep it as a PHP array. One of the things that we need to have a test case for all these within the same application, but we can look at it from a different perspective. I mean, maybe later, maybe not now though. I've been streaming since 2 in the morning. Yeah, it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning now at this point, but yeah, probably fine. We are going to go and find some way to write more code. So, looking at this, there has to be another approach for solving this. So having another test cases, we can put them in array. Handling them will be harder. So having another table, having another table will also be it's going to be actually useful. So I just rearrange my stuff and I'm going to do that. I mean, create another one. We'll create another file. Let's call it create yeah. Yes, I understand that this is not the best way to approach this problem, but yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. Just creating a table is important. Create table. We'll just call it table TC. Here's a more word of mouth. I mean, they don't teach you, I don't think they teach you in college, but it's best to have your I don't think they teach you in this college. Best thing to have is you have your table names in uppercase. Otherwise, it's going to be a headache. You won't be able to distinguish between your variables. Your entity properties and your table name. So it's absolutely necessary to do this. But I'm not going to be doing that because it's just a dummy program. So table, then you have windows. So while I code, I can listen to some stories or something. Okay. So thinking about that, yes, we'll also have hash here as well, which is basically a primary. Here's the process. We're going to have this hash as a primary key there. Here, this will be the foreign key to your primary key there. So here's the logic between foreign keys and primary keys. Primary, this here at the end I'll just put a foreign key. Then we'll have like a var. Yeah, it seems to be fine here. Let me see there. Oh, it worked. Odd. What the fuck? I forgot about Steam.